All right, back at it again, y'all. Tonight with another therapy session. And I want to talk about getting too comfortable with the way that you talk to your spouse. I mean, whether you're disrespectful in the way that you conversate, because it can very easily be disrespectful and you don't even know you're being disrespectful because we no longer check each other in the way we conversate. Being together for over 20 years, you don't even think about your conversation a lot of the times. You don't think about how disrespectful your conversation is because it just rolls off your back because you get used to hearing certain things in certain ways. But I'm starting to be more awakening to the conversation, into the way that I verbalize and the way that my wife verbalizes within the conversation. And I'm noticing more disrespect than normal. Why? Because now I'm paying attention more. And normally I don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. Not simple stuff like conversation, simple conversation. It really don't matter to me. But I'm paying attention to it more now because we over those 20-year marks, and now you got to work on being better. Being more loving and being more kind to each other. So I'm trying to reverse the way in which I conversate. And if I gotta back up, slow down, and be more intentional with my conversation to try to elevate our situation even to even better level than it is already. Meaning you got to put in the work. You got to put in the extra work. You got to put in the extra work. You got to be paying more attention to your wife, to your husband, to your family. Why? Because simple things, if you leave them alone for a long period of time, can become major things. So I'm starting to tend to my business more. And my business being the family, my business being my wife, my business being my health. Because it's simple, your health is wealth, without a doubt. And the happier your family is, the happier your life can be. And it's just simple things. 90% of the time, it's just simple stuff. It's just those simple things will add up over time. So I'm watching the conversation more. I'm watching how we talk to each other in a derogatory fashion, but it's not critical. Why? Because we don't let it be critical because we're so comfortable with each other that we can say whatever we want to say to each other, and it doesn't matter, and it doesn't really hold any weight because at the end of the night, and the day, love always conquer all. So simple conversations, it's just simple conversations to us. But we got to learn to pay attention and stop being more intentional with our conversation so that we can make sure that our spouse understands that we don't disrespect them, understand that we love them, understand that they are needed, wanted, and they are loved. From a man's perspective, we don't care a lot about that type of stuff. But women, well, my wife, I'm talking about my wife, she care about those things. And if I let it go for a long period of time, then she might fall into the trend of not caring. You see? But it's up to me to make sure that I pay attention and I bring it back to a level playing ground where it's not so unbalanced within the conversation. And if I gotta back down to bring the conversation back to a healthy situation, a healthy environment, a healthy atmosphere, then that's what I need to do. That's what I have to do. Because I can't lead from behind. You know, I can't lead from behind. So I got to make sure that I'm on the front. I'm on the front line. You know, and if I'm on the front line, I'm making sure that our communication is on point. I'm making sure that the way we move is on point. The way we operate is on point. And the way that we talk and conversate to each other is on point. Nobody is being disrespectful. And, you know, I don't take the position of a man as being the authority figure, but I take the position of a man as being the one that can put things in the proper perspective within the relationship, within the family. I don't have to be the head on everything. Sometimes if my wife will know more about a situation, you got to have enough common sense. You got to have enough common sense to be able to back down and back and put your wife in front if she know more about the situation. But we still got to make that decision together. As a man, you got to understand that you don't have to always fight. You don't have to win every battle. You know, and every battle you don't need to win. Every battle is not even worth fighting. But you got to take the time to pay attention and understand and watch your conversation. And I'm just taking the time now to pay attention more, to understand more. And I had to learn. I'm still learning, even in a, you know, after 20 years, you're still learning, you know, because the older you get, the more you change. I'm a family man. I'm a family man 100%. I don't need to be all the other people business. You know, I don't need to be around a lot of other people. But my wife is more of an outgoing person, a social butterfly, one would say. And she liked the interaction with other people. And she liked to have a girls' night, you know, a girls' trips. And these type of things, I don't understand them. Why? Because I'm not built for that. But she is. So that means I got to learn how to compromise more. She got to learn to compromise more. We got to learn to conversate more. Because, you know, women like to interact with other women. That's just point blank. Women just like that. And it is not for me to understand why they need that. But I just need to know that they need that. And I need to understand that. And I need to be more understanding of that. You know? But you must always understand and pay attention to things too now. In a lot of situations, in my family, in my relationship with my wife, she will take advantage of situations. Why? Because that's the way she built. That's the way she's built, you know. If she can continue to do things and get away with it, she will. And if I do the same thing, she might have something to say about it. You know, that's just the way she is. Why? Because I normally don't do these kind of things. I normally don't worry about going to have guys' trips and, you know, going to stay out. You know, I don't care about doing that kind of stuff. You know, but if I were to do it or were to bring it up, she might have something to say about it. Why? Because it's not normal for me. You know, and that's usually her argument. It's not normal for you to want to do something like that. It's not normal for you to want to do something that's out of the normal for you. But, you know, sometimes I like to throw a monkey wrench in the situation to see what happens. Just to get just to see what she would say about it. Well, you know, just to do it. Just to do it. You know, but, you know, as a man, you got to compromise. You got to learn how to compromise. Why? If you don't have a problem with your wife being in the streets, with other men or something of that nature, then you shouldn't have nothing to worry about. And as a man, I don't even worry about that kind of stuff anyway, because a woman going to do what a woman want to do, and a man going to do what a man want to do. That's the bottom line. And if you got to sit around and worry about that kind of stuff, then you need to get away from that person anyway. Yeah, I don't worry about that kind of stuff. I don't do dirt. I don't expect dirt. And I will not accept dirt if it come back to me. And that's the bottom line with me. So I don't even worry about that kind of stuff, you know. And if you trust your wife, you don't rub that kind of stuff anyway. But you gotta be able to compromise, man. You gotta be able to compromise. That's one of the biggest things in a relationship, learning how to compromise. My wife do most of the fun stuff. She plan most of the fun stuff, and a lot of times I plan most of the, the working type stuff to keep things going, to keep us in order. You got to have a balance. I don't do too much of the fun stuff. Why? Because my wife do most of the fun stuff. So that kind of makes it off balance a lot of times because I got to be on point. I got to be on point most of the time. And as a man, I understand that, and in every relationship, you have to make that decision. You have to learn your spouse to understand what is the negative and the positive within the relationship. You have to learn that. And the negative for me is that I have to always be the serious one a lot of the time. So why? Because that's just what it is. My wife is the more fun type person. I could be the more fun type, but you got to play your cards. And if your spouse worth staying with for the long haul, then you play your cards. It might be balanced, it might be unbalanced in some situations. But if your family is worth staying with them, if your family is worth it, then you stay with them. I'm not getting the cotton mouth, But if your family is worth staying together, you stay together. You stay with it, you work it out. Pros and cons and everything. But that's life, man. That's enough. That's enough talk for tonight. We'll be back at it again, y'all. Y'all be great out there. Y'all be loved. Y'all be understanding. Be kind to each other and be great. Love y'all. GF4 Entertainment.